cover of NBA 2K with fellow champion Jason Tatum and Hall of Fame legend Vince Carter. Asia, just the 5th W player to appear on the cover of NBA 2K and the first to be featured on a global cover. She is a front runner. She is a pioneer and kind enough to join us on First Take this morning. Asia, so many good stuff, so many good things happening this year. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
But I want to focus on something else. Obviously, a lot of eyeballs on the W, especially this year with this rookie class. But I want to focus on what the Aces are going for, and that is the three-peat. You guys, along with Patrick Mahomes and those Chiefs, we know how major that would be. What is the biggest key to get your 3rd championship?
Keeping the main thing, and understanding that, the season's not going to look the same. I feel like everyone feels like we have to look the same. Our roster is pretty similar than last year's, but it's completely different. Our league has gotten obviously a lot better, and all eyes are on us at this point. So you have to be on your A game, like every single possession. And that's hard. That's hard to maintain. But we have enough in the locker room to keep the main thing. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
All right, so congratulations on the 2020 game from yesterday. That was wild. And watching how you've evolved defensively. You said earlier this season you felt like you've taken your game to a new level personally. Like, where did that come from? Like, from when you came into the WNBA to where you are now, what's been the biggest change?
Um, just my motor, just my want to, my effort level of just continue to be the best teammate that I can be, but also just continue to working on the little things that I can add to my game and sharpening the tools in my toolbox so I can continue to show up every single night because there's somebody out there that's there to watch me play. So why not put on a good show the best way I can? So I just been just trying to work at it every single game, and just my teammates have helped me a lot by just uplifting me and giving me a lot of confidence to continue to be me.
Asia, what was the bigger deal to you personally? Is it getting the Nike shoe that we know is going to debut in 2025? I was trying to Google, see if I could get a sneak peek of what it's going to look like. Or is it being on the cover of NBA 2K, which is so rare for a female athlete?
Ooh, I think it's kind of just a mixture of both. I feel like it's just things that you always dreamt of as a kid, like wanting a shoe, wanting to be in a video game, and now like I'm checking those things off. And so I feel like it's a tie. It's a tie. The shoe is a huge deal for me,
Yeah.
obviously, because it's like now people can actually wear a piece that I've worked on with my awesome team at Nike. But then, when you're tapping into the video game community, they take that very, very seriously. And I love
Sure.
being in spaces that I've never really been in. Like kind of with my book, I was in that type of audience, and now with gaming in this audience. So I don't know. It's a tie. I feel like it's a pretty even tie for me right now.
But Asia, real quick, and then I'll let Courtney jump back in. When you play, are you going to play as yourself? That's what I need to know.
I feel like, of course, I feel like that's the only way I can play.
Obviously, with all humility, as you should. Courtney?
All right, so we're almost at the halfway point of the season. You have been on a tear. And we know last year the MVP went to Breanna Stewart. How much of that served as motivation for you and the path that you're on here in the 2024 season?
I don't think Stewie getting MVP was really the motivation for me. Obviously, I mean, between her and AT, they all deserved it. So I get it. I get it 100%. But I feel like the most motivation for me, and everyone probably knows the story, is the 4th place vote. That's something that was all the motivation that I needed because in my eyes, I was like, okay, maybe top 2, I get it. But to see that I got a 4th place vote was kind of like, okay, obviously I have more work that needs to be done. So I think that was honestly my motivation, just to continue to put my imprint on in this league and to take no prisoners, go out there and just try to play the best basketball that I can.
Yeah, let's just remind folks who Asia Wilson is. You sure did that. But you're taking a pause from the W, going for an Olympic gold, also very exciting. What a year for you. You might need to write another book now this year. So honestly, after everything that's happened, but it's a star-studded roster. Who are you most excited to play with? And obviously, you're excited to play with all these talented athletes, but I mean in terms of fit and style for you and your game.
Ooh, am I biased if I say my teammates just on an
No,
Olympic level?
no.
I feel like that's going to be like big for us. I feel like it's going to be a lot of different roles changes that we might not be used to as we play with the Aces.
Mhm.
But on the Olympic level, I feel like we're going to have a different just input and outlook on the game. And so I'm excited just to play alongside them again.
We were talking about the Rookie of the Year race earlier, and it's Caitlin Clark one day, it's Angel Reese the next day. As someone who has gotten to see both players this season and watch what their contributions have been individually, but also to their collective teams, how do you size up the Rookie of the Year race? And I know there's been some debate about what could potentially be the tiebreaker. Do you think that a player's impact in getting their team into the postseason in the W should factor in and who might be winning that award?
Um, yes and no at the same time because a lot of people's paths are just very, very different. I just really pray that they don't do co rookie of the year because that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
dumb to
Oh,
me.
MVPs. Yeah, no.
But yeah, I feel like that's not the way to go. But I mean, it all depends on what the voters want. And from someone that's gotten a fourth place vote, you'll be surprised at how voters really look at you. So it's going to be hard. I'm glad that I'm not voting because that's going to be a tough test. But they've also both been great for their teams and for their franchises. So I wish them both the best of luck. Can't wait to compete against them as years to come. But it honestly depends on what the voters see and what they want. It could be anything, and I feel like we'd all be surprised.